So I sing you to sleep after the loving. Yeah. On the phone with us, his new CD is entitled Engelbert Calling. It is Engelbert Humperdinck. How are you, sir?
Good, thank you, Pete. Fine.
You got some big stars on this new CD.
Isn't that something? It's taken 2 years, a labor of love, to put this together, and trying to get all these people in the studio was quite a feat. Believe me.
I understand Olivia Newton-John. You've probably run into her over the years, but how do you get Willie Nelson? Do you call him up and say, "Hey, Willie, it's Engelbert"? How does that work?
It worked. I called him up and asked him if he would do a track on my album, and he said yes. And I said to him, Willie, I'm a big fan of your singing, but I love the way you play guitar. Would you play guitar on this track? He says, for sure. And he played guitar. And
I got to tell you, I'm going to play this right now. This is my favorite track on the CD right here. This is a remake of Spinning Wheel. See if you guys can guess who this is singing with Engelbert.
Goes up, must come down. Yeah, spinning wheel.
Anybody? I mean, that voice is so distinct.
I tell you, he was such a joy in the studio. Not only a rock god, but he's very charismatic, and he's got so much fun behind him. You know, he brought that into the studio and said, just relax, have fun, and that's what we did on that track.
Well, anybody want to take a guess on the show? Steve, you want to take a guess?
Joe Cocker?
Not Joe Cocker. Dave Ennett?
Boy,
anybody?
I don't know.
Simmons?
Gene Simmons is right.
Yeah.
Gene Simmons from Kiss. Oh,
That's awesome.
You and Gene Simmons hanging out doing Spinning Wheel. I mean, that's fantastic.
It's wonderful, isn't it? I mean, he came to see my show, and you know, for me, that was the biggest thrill of my life.
Wow. Neil Sedaka, Dionne Warwick, you got Kenny Rogers on there. I mean, that's good for you.
Elton John was the one that started the ball rolling, because I was listening to a live album of Elton, in which he says, I wrote this song when I was a struggling artist living in London and waiting for an Engelbert to call. I finally called, not for that song, but to ask him, Elton, would you do a duet with me? And he said yes. And, you know, having Elton was like the honeycomb, and it was wonderful.
Of course. We're talking with Engelbert Humperdinck. His new Duets album is called Engelbert Calling. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember you were on an episode of The Love Boat. I remember seeing you in that little circle at the beginning of the show.
Yes, I was.
Yes, I knew it. What did you play? What did you play on The Love Boat?
I can't remember. It was so long ago. I can't remember what I played. I've done quite a few of the, you know, those sort of things, you know, Hotel and Love Boat, and, you know, but as an actor, I'm not bad. But as a singer, I can do it. Well,
don't they say in Hollywood, singers want to be actors, actors want to be singers? You just want to try something new?
Yeah, well, you know, singers do make good actors, because, you know, they have to change emotions on stage so quickly, because, you know, you don't stop. And as an actor, cut, start again, you know, you can set yourself up, but you can't do it in a live show.
Well, you know, people think Engelbert Humperdinck, they think that you should have a place in Vegas. You played Vegas years ago, but have you played lately?
I'm playing Vegas very soon again, you know. It's a new place. I can't remember where it is. I can't remember the name right now, but it's the first time I'll be playing it.
Do you like playing Vegas? You seem like a Vegas guy.
I played Vegas for years and years and years. It's nice now to be traipsing around the world, you know, and doing, you know, showing the people what I do. I go all over the world. I really do, in all of the United States, Canada. And with this new release, it's taking me to places again, you know, on a little tour.
I got to tell you, one of the things that I wanted to do when I was in Vegas years ago was to see Tom Jones, because there's another singer that you want to go see in concert. Do you get along with Tom?
I haven't seen Tom in 27 years.
Well, is there a reason for that?
I don't know. It's nothing to do with me, I guess.
So there's a little friction there.
We haven't crossed paths for 27 years. We were partners in a business together a long time ago, but the times have changed.
Oh, yeah? He had a little bit of a falling out. I didn't realize that.
Well, it wasn't me. It was him.
Well, that happens.
You know, I don't hold grudges against anybody. I think he's a fantastic singer, amazing artist, and I really think he's top notch.
Well, tell me what it was like back in the day. Engelbert Humperdinck would go on stage. Were women throwing things on stage at you?
Oh, yeah, it was the same. It goes on and today, actually, you know, all these many years later, it still goes, not to the extent it did in the past, because that was a trait that people came to the show to do, you know, but nowadays it's just 3 or 4 panties may come on stage.
That's nice. That's what it's all about right there. Engelbert Calling is his new CD, Engelbert Humperdinck. Engelbert, before you go, can you do me one favor?
What's that?
Can you sing with me coming up? Can we all get together and hold each other in the studio right now? All right, you ready to go? You ready? I'm sure you've done this 1 million times. Here we go.
So I sing you to sleep
after the loving. Engelbert Humperdinck. Thank you, Engelbert. Thank you. Thank you very much. There's the applause right there from Vegas. Thank you, sir. Engelbert Humperdinck. There's something you don't hear every day. You're not going to hear that on WLS today, are you?
That was great. Your duet with him was beautiful.
Let me just have this moment right here.
Yeah, that's a keeper.
I was going the second verse as I brush back your hair from your eyes. It's nice.
Pete, he just asked if you wanted to join him on stage in Vegas.
I can do that. Let me talk to Mr. Manley during commercials. It's 7:20 WGN. It's nice.